What's up, fellas, ladies, and everybody in between? What's going down? What is going down? Well, here, I don't know what's your world, but here it's Sunday afternoon at 12:46. And I figure I'm gonna jump on and do my daily paint and chat. Since I'm impressed with myself. I've painted over 50 minis within the last like 2 weeks. So that's freaking awesome for me. So come on in, put your feet up, grab some paint, your favorite drink. Let's be weird together, and we can chat and do some painting. So today, let me show you guys what I got finished today. So I got this stuff finished today. Let me see if I can. So what we got here is this is on this camera's on a stand, guys, so I can't really get it in there, but we got a couple Japanese flamethrowers. We got 4 Japanese suicide guys, 2 Japanese snipers, and then a Type 1 40 millimeter anti-tank gun. And this is what's on the table, guys. So we got, this is reverse. So down here, so right here we got a bunch of zombies. And then we got some soups. These are Japanese hive troopers. These are kind of like they're covered in like bugs and insects and stuff, and they can control them like swarms. It's pretty cool. And then here we got some excellent Japanese and like look at this power armor, dude. Isn't that fucking awesome? And then over here we got more of it. We got more Japanese. We got more dudes in power armor. And then we got guys. These are like Japanese commandos over here. So that's what I plan on painting. I'm gonna try to finish all that stuff by the end of the month, which I don't know. I can try. I can try. Let that camera focus back in. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing. If you guys are out there and can hear me and see me, let me know, so I know that the feed is working. But yeah, so let's see, these hive trooper guys I was telling you about. I'm gonna use these as kind of like druids, right? Like some sort of mystical druids that can like manipulate the smaller things in life, like the bugs. So just imagine like you're a marine, or you're a marine and you're island hopping in the Pacific, and you come across some Japanese, or up the hill. Nerd, what's up, buddy? All right, 5x5. So I'm talking about these they're called hive troops. They're from the old Dark Sun Designs, AE World War II. And they're Japanese guys with like all these bugs and stuff all over them, right? So what I'm gonna do in my game is I'm gonna make them like druids, like they can control like all the insects in the world, like or the insects around them. So they can form they can create like swarms to like either like attack the enemy, or maybe even like obstruct movement, like big old swarms of like blocking. They block the sight against the enemies, or even just attack the enemy. I don't know if a swarm of flies would kill you, but it definitely like probably drive you off, like get you off and freak you out or whatever. So yeah, these are really cool, a cool idea. Again, these are minis. I don't know who picked these. I know, was it Black Ball or 8-Ball minis bought out the Dark Sun Designs stuff when they closed shop, but I think they've gone out of business since then too. So I don't know how. I've had these for a long time. Actually, I take that back. I got these from, oh god, what is it? White Knight, or what's that Knight store that has like that sells like old shit? Something Knight Games. White Knight, or They're expensive though, but I picked these up on there, but I couldn't find them anywhere else. Again, I kicked myself for not getting them when I could have gotten them cheap, but I didn't spend too much. But I figured I got 3 of them, so I think that'd be enough to field like some battlefield druids. That'd be pretty cool. I'm not sure how I'm gonna paint the bugs. I mean, they're just like you can't really see them. They'll probably just make black, kind of green. I don't know. Just maybe do I don't know. Do some speckle, dry brush, different shit on these bugs because there's like it looks like they don't look like snakes. They look like worms and maggots and shit all over them. But they're referred to as the Hive, HIVE trooper, in that mini line. So if you're interested in looking that up, just plug that in. You could probably still find the pictures or whatever. So what are you up to, nerd? You got something going on today? You working? Working for the man? Gotta work for a living, so hard for the honey. No. So I also got I don't know if you saw the beginning of the show, but here's some of those samurai that Kachu, that the guy that I love, I can't pronounce his name. Those samurai like power armor guys. These are going to be they're going to be like Arctic. Oh, that's right. You're going to do clear bases. That's cool. That's a good idea because BattleTech has all the has all the grids and shit. Are the grids still numbered? I remember. I want to say they used to be numbered, like grid number da 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 da. I can't remember if they still did that. To doing clear bases, hell yeah, dude. I would do if I was starting fresh, like if I was playing, it wouldn't matter what I was playing, anything, 40K, fucking Blood Bowl, any of that shit. I'd do clear bases. I think because you can just I don't know, it looks kind of cool, just the bases reflecting the area that the people are sitting in. I've just got too many that have the solid bases that it wouldn't look right. My OCD would like drive me mad. But dude, those samurai suits are fucking epic, dude. They are great. So there's one okay, so there's several different poses, guys. One he's almost got like he's kind of almost got like a storm bolter, like the Terminators had. Well, it's a single barrel. It's basically like a gun that's on his wrist, and then he has like a blade. So there's that one. And then they've got you got kind of the same setup, but he's poking his stick his sword out, his blade. Yeah, I mean the bases. I mean, why do it if you don't have to? And then there's one with like a rifle, like a cool looking rifle. I think that's all of them. Or no, then there's a guy like with dual like blades, like running. And then we got I think one that has dual those little hand. Let me see if I think there's another one that has like dual the guns on his wrist. Yeah, so here's this guy. He's got like the dual guns like on his wrists. I guess he's carrying a rifle too on his back. Sorry that my technology sucks, guys, but nerd, throw up that guy's name up there again for people in the if you remember it. I cannot say it. For some reason, every time I get like a brain lock, it's like just like I need to sit down like one day and just study his name for like I love the guy. I mean, I'm fantastic. I've talked to him a bunch of times, like not in person, but like online. We've had conversations together. I just cannot pronounce the name that he uses for his company. Call him the K-Man, the K-nator. Yeah, the bases. I don't know. people, it's funny because it's like I've always been a gamer, dude. First, I've always been a gamer first, and I just like I paint because I want my stuff to be painted. I don't. It's not really a depiction of. There you go, Kyoko Shigniko. It's in the chat, guys. Check it out. Go to that. Go to him and check. He's got some epic shit, and it's not just like he does World War II. He does some weird World War II. He does like fantasy, some historical stuff. He just did a big like a platoon of sinks, with like the turbines and stuff with the British kit. Oh man, they look fantastic. I'm gonna have to get some of those, dude. Those look fucking awesome. And this is what this is like, this is that. They're 3D printed, and guys, that's what it is, man. It is a beautiful mini. So that's his, and here's a Warlord mini, like without the power armor. Man, that fits like perfect. They're a little bit bulkier because they're in armor. So that works, dude. So all your bolt action players out there that don't want to spend $5,000 for a Warlord, the Warlord Japanese power armor, guys, get these, man. Go to Coveted Forge. That they have an Etsy shop, Coveted Forge, and they're our sponsor. So in the links below, we have like links and all that stuff, and just it has the discount code too. So shit, use it. Make save some cash, man. I do that. I parlay those discounts for you guys. That's all I get. All I want from a sponsor is to have some kick-ass shit, like showcase cool shit, have them donate some of that to me so I can, product support, and then a discount for you guys. It can be whatever. It can be 5%, 2%, 100%, whatever they want to do. There's no minimum. I don't get any money for how much you buy. And then for that, I'll lather their stuff all over my site. Let you guys know about their cool weird war stuff that might come out. So we can help each other out, dude. They can make a little money. I can get some free shit. We can all push the genre and expand, our collections by companies we may not know existed. There's other ways to do it than having to give people money. Money. What kind of nerd? What kind of bases are they going to be? Are they going to be like round bases? They're going to be the kind of rectangle. I remember I want to say the Robotech not Robotech. The BattleTech used to have like rectangular shapes or octagon shapes. I can't remember. Octagon. They were octagon shaped. They're hexes. But their bases were like I remember like when Fossa was doing. I think Fossa was doing them. I don't remember who. I can't remember who was doing it. I think it was Fossa. Or I'm not sure who did BattleTech back in the day. I can't remember. They had like those big solid like. I swear they were octagon or some unique shape. And these zombies that I'm working on right now, I'll show you. Here's just one of them. These are the Japanese zombies from Brother Vinny, which is another sponsor of ours. He's got some great shit. He's got World War II stuff. He's got weird World War II stuff. He's got like Ninja Turtles. He's got 40K kind of stuff. He's got sexy babe kind of things. Vikings. Oh, so he's got an excellent like female Greek like hoplites. I got a bunch of those and I made them Wonder Woman's like retinue. Oh, dude, they look fabulous. They look fantastic. Yeah, so they were hexagons. Yeah, that's right. I just remember like seeing like you could buy those packs of bases and they're just like big old chunks of metal, just these big hexagon chunks of metal. I'm like, hell yeah, what's this game? It's like heavy metal. But what did I do here? I don't know what I did there. I'm also working on some. I've got some on right directly in front of me. I've got some from Super Figs. It was kind of like a generic superhero line. I think you can still get these from Old Glory sells the Super Figs, not Super Figs. Yeah, Super Figs. These I'm gonna paint these up as the Japanese. I've got like the stretcher. The stretcher got killed in the last battle, so he's kind of retired. I might have other stretchers come out. I have to come up with a different name, but these guys I have a couple guys that are just kind of generically standing there, just kind of standing. And then we got a guy running. And then one of these has like these little smaller versions, like a smaller and smaller version. So one will be like a guy that shrinks or something. So, but like the Japanese, I try to use my supers as like they're soldiers. They're not like vigilantes or whatever. So they're gonna be like the Japanese wear an all white uniform, and they have like the what is it the chrysanthemum, the emperor's symbol, the chrysanthemum on their forehead, and then they have like the rising sun logo on their chest. So that's like the Japanese their supers uniform. In fact, I'm gonna paint one of those right now. Right now, I'll put a first coat of white on those bad boys. So the white I'm using, guys, is Apple Barrel. The like 50 cent. It's not bad. It's a good white. It goes on a bit thick, so water it down if you got to use a lot of it. So earlier, before I jumped on here, I was watching. So Mel's never seen this. We were watching Buckaroo Banzai, baby. Woo! She had never seen Buckaroo Banzai. Man, it's a disservice to me to like not do that for her. Let her know about the wonder and the awe of Buckaroo Banzai. And that the eighth dimension. I saw that shit in the theater when I was a kid, dude. I used to drag my mom. So every week I try to get my mom to take me to the theater, the movies. Man, I miss that old lady. She was awesome. If you guys got kids, man, make those memories, dude, because I'm telling you, they will remember. Because I remember those weekends going out. My mom worked her ass off too, man. She was psychiatric RN. She worked fucking. She always worked on weekends. She always worked on holidays. She was always on call. She that lady worked her to the death. And she was a great nurse too. She really loved all those kids that were sick or having problems, man. She was there to help them. And she really loved them all, and they loved her. The ones that could show love. Some of them are just so broken that it's a shame. She could tell me some stories, but yeah, she made that time, man. I remember she used to she would take me to putt putt, and she'd give me like, here's $20, go play putt putt, and I would be there all day, man. I'd just be playing video games. I'd do a round of miniature golf. Yeah, if my friends were with me, we'd all go. Man, it was so much fun. And I remember that shit vividly, man. So if you got kids, find that time for them, because I'm telling you, they will remember you when you're gone, and that'll keep you alive forever, as long as they're alive. That's what I believe. I think we keep our loved ones alive as long as we remember them, have their memories. Justin, what's up? What has? Having fun? Being cool? So before we start, Justin has a fucking Justin right. Oh yeah, outdoor amusement places. Yeah, they're not around as much as they used to. And if they are, man, they're like crazy expensive. We've got a place here in town. It's like a super like it's got indoor golf. It's got bouncy. You can bounce around and shit, and it's got a big arcade. But man, it's pricey. Man, I remember going to putt putt. It was hot as hell outside, but man, we were having a blast. Oh, but Justin has some T-shirts that he wants to sell. So, and they're all inappropriate, and you guys will fucking love them. So Justin, right? Don't put a link up there because for some reason it won't let people put links. So just kind of write out like a place where they could go to like find a link to it, or you can just send it to me. Like once you send me your link, like through send me your link through what's the fucking Discord, and I'll just put it on the description because I know you're gonna be begging me to talk about it. So I'm a preemptive you. Preempt say, yeah, they're pretty cool. They're pretty funny. And if you are a hot, sexy cat girl, this is the man to talk. This is the man to talk to. He will treat you like a cat princess. Yeah, I'll just put that at the end of the video. I'll stick that link on there so you can get some money. If someone buys it and mentions World War II, send me a fat bastard sized T-shirt, okay? I want something with a sexy chick on it and completely, un-PC. I want people's monocles to fall into their soup when they read it. Like, I never. Women get the vapors. I got the vapors. But yeah, watching Buckaroo Banzai, man, this is a great movie. It's so crazy. It's just like bonkers. Buckaroo Banzai is like the ultimate dude. He's like super smart. He's brave. He's a ladies' man. He rock and roll. He's a humanist. He kicks ass, takes names. He doesn't ask for anything in return. Man, yeah. So, Justin, I saw that you guys did an early ass live feed. You, Hungar, and dude, I woke up like I looked at on my thing, and it was only like 8 o'clock, or like 9 in the morning or something. And you guys had like stopped the feed like 5 hours ago or some shit. You can get you guys some drugs so you can pass the fuck out, get some sleep, get some rest. Right on. I need to make some Weird War swag. Come up with a way to do that. Oh, hey, nerd. So this week on Weird War Wednesday, would you be available? So I got a fan, I got a box fan, and I'm gonna set my printer up, and I'm gonna invite you, probably Jason from Road Agent Leather, and probably oh shit, Ryan, who sent me some resin. I was thinking maybe we could do a live feed and just like start the process. I've got the mini. I think I'm gonna print up first. It's KLT Studios, which is one of our sponsors. It's Lemmy, in like a Panzer, like a German Panzer uniform with an MP40. He's got it's Lemmy, from Motorhead. I'm like, hell yeah, that's gonna be my tank ace. I think I'll print that up. I know you can't. It won't like finish in one sitting or whatever. But we can go through the steps on like like what I need to do, like whatever. So I don't know. That might be interesting because I mean I know a lot of people out there don't know anything about it. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, Shadow didn't do his night show last night. I was looking for it. He said he was going to do it. Maybe. I guess he didn't. So yeah, you guys were talking about fucking who is it? The crafty gamer. He was talking about like a weird war. He was doing a weird war challenge next month. I'm like, guys, don't forget, don't get challenged out now, guys. Let me tell you why. Yeah, dude. Well, I'll shoot you a message, nerd, and then kind of fine tune that more. I need to really. I'd like to get you guys. All right, do you have an issue about being like on camera? If you do, I'll talk to you about it like offline. So I'm gonna try to get that Squarespace free thing again. I might try a different one. I know Justin, you guys were doing a different one for a while, a different like service that was free. I think I might try that one this time. 'Cause I could not get that Squarespace or Square, whatever the fuck it is. Could not get it to work on my shit for some reason. But yeah, KLT Studios. He does. He does like a. You get like you can. He's got a shop on like I think it's Colts or Shape. Yeah, Colts. Hell, I don't remember. Um, or you can do like one of those like it's like a service plan where you pay every month and you have access to all the files and then you get to vote on like what he wants or what you guys want him to make that month. He'll put up like he'll put up like a handful of like STLs like what do you guys want, like he was doing like he's got like a naked like Jessica Rabbit with a Thompson, and then there's one with her naked and then there's one with her like her dress, and then there's a bunch of like tank girl and all sorts of shit, all sorts of pop culture kind of things from video games. I'm not really familiar with all that shit, so swing over to that. um, it's his things down in our link below. So KLT Studios, he's a cool dude. He's got some great like he's got these like wizards, like kind of like the Fellowship of the Ring, right? But they're like they got like World War II weapons. Like Gandalf's got like what did Gandalf have? He had like dual 45s or some shit, and like Frodo and Bilbo have got like M1 Grands or something, and it's kind of cool. So you can do like a. There's just one. I think it's Red Sonja. So sexy Red Sonja, right? And she's got like a 50, big 50 caliber. It's fucking awesome. I need to paint those up. And he's got like a witch riding like a broomstick with like a bomb on the bottom of it. It's pretty cool. Hell yeah, dude. Jessica Rabbit. Whew. She is something else. I think that I'm trying to think like of mainstream like animation, not like hentai or any of that kind of shit, but like just shit that would be on normal TV. The hottest like one was that chick. What was that? Tripping the Rift or something? The show was dumb. I wasn't a big fan of the show, but that girl, I think she was like an android or something. She was hot. Well, yeah. So I was saying, next month, guys. I know there's a bunch of painting challenges going on right now in the community that we're kind of involved in right now. But so every October, this will be my fourth annual. We do a Weird War October painting challenge. It's not a challenge; it's just like a painting thing where you guys just paint up like however much you want. Just one thing will work, and what you do is paint it up and send me not the thing, but send me a picture or a video or something of it, and I'll I'll showcase it because on November 1st, I'll make a video and put out a video with all the people who join the challenge, and I'll plug your stuff. And if you've got like a website you want me to plug, I'll plug that. And it's just a way for people to maybe paint something out of their wheelhouse. Like if you're a strict historical gamer, this would be your chance to paint something weird, something weird war or something, monsters, like ogres or dragon, whatever it is, something that's either weird World War II or something indignative to the Halloween, holiday. And but yeah, that should be fun. That's always a fun one. Seeing what people got, what they choose. There's some great like monster. I don't know what I'm gonna do this year. I did the creature commandos last year. I converted. I made the creature commando from the comic books, the World War II team. And I did a bunch of kit bashing to make those up that last year. But we got people doing monsters and zombies, and they'll do weird war stuff. But yeah, you guys definitely take part of that. It could just be one thing. It doesn't have to be. It's not like War Mutt's thing right now, where it's like a do as much as you can. It's like just do one cool thing, and then I'll showcase it. Plug each other. Okay, guys. So I have two superheroes here, right? They're Japanese. So let me give you the criteria. So these are Japanese guys. Okay, this was Imperial Japanese. They can be It can be Imperial Japanese Army or Navy. It doesn't matter. But they're Imperial Japanese, World War II or before, and they're just in general poses, right? They're two big beefcake dude. They're dudes. So help me come up with some ideas, like some superpowers for these guys, because these guys are in general outfits, so they can do anything. It's not like they're stretchy, like their arm is stretched out, so you kind of know what their power is. Think of some cool like powers that isn't just like the norm. Like everybody does like super strength and that kind of stuff. Let's do something unique or something indignative to kind of like the Japanese culture or something. Or something that's totally like racial, racist to the. Because listen, guys, this is weird World War II. So this was a time where racial stereotypes were used as propaganda, and look, it's a tongue in cheek kind of like thing at the time. It's just a depiction of the time of how the propaganda would vilify your enemy and make them cartoony or whatever. But yeah, I got another guy. He's like running, but he has like there's like three different versions. There's like a smaller one and a smaller one. So that this guy's obviously some sort of a shrinker or something like that. Damn it. And they're fucking solid metal. They're just like boom, and you kick them around and chew on them. They'll be alright. So have you finished painting up that bolt action stuff yet, Justin? I mean, we're 10 days in. Harvey Weinstein. There's a man, you need to get on that shit, dude. I don't know if you're on Facebook. There's like an Operation Sea Lion like Facebook group, like miniature, group, war game group that kind of centers on like the what if, invasion of England in the early 40s. Anyway, that'd be a cool place to like post your fascists. If you ever paint them up, put them on, let folks see that. Also, I would shit. Look at the very British Civil War stuff. There's several groups of that on Facebook. It's pretty active. I pulled that out the other day. I was reading that shit. That's a heavy read, dude. Like, first of all, I don't even know what they're referring to, like these locations in England, and I'm like, I don't even in Scotland or whatever. I'm like, I don't even know where the fuck that's at. It's cool because it talks about like the regional, kind of the regional identity and the regional, issues and problems that they had with, I guess, the people across the street or whatever the fuck. So it's pretty interesting. It doesn't take much for people to become tribal, start turning on each other. So nerd, those BattleTech mechs should paint pretty quick, don't they? I mean, they're I'm trying to think. You sent me a picture of your stuff. It's got multiple colors, but I mean, it's not like it doesn't have like a lot of different stuff, different colors on there. It's pretty much block painting. I would think there's not a ton of like detail work to it, if I remember. Oh, that's cool. I get it, man. Life. It's the biggest enemy for hobbyists is real life. Always gets in the way. That's gets in the way. Causes trouble. Causes trouble. I guess there's like a super fucking hurricane in the Atlantic right now, making its way to North America. Looks like it's gonna smash into Canada, dude. Halifax. Halifax is like East Canada, right? I think that's where it was kind of all the computer models were showing it. It was gonna just smack into Halifax. I think that's where it was. It's like a category 5 right now in the Atlantic. It's like 150, 175 miles an hour or something like that. Just churning away, sucking up all the sharks, making a Sharknado. Those are great. You guys ever watch Sharknado? It's a great show to put in the background. Like if you're doing your taxes or if you're sleeping or some shit, just put that in the background. You'll be all right. You'll enjoy it. Or painting. But yep, I just been again. So we were referring to a painting challenge earlier, guys. Mini Warmut, he's having his big painting challenge of Doom. And he's got. If you're on Facebook, just or on YouTube, just plug in Mini Warmut, and it has he'll have a channel, and he'll all the hubbub will be there, and you guys can take part. Join us in painting some of that shit you got laying, all that lead pile you got laying around that you need to get done so you can get it out of the way. Oh, that's good. You're getting some sleep. That's good. Man, that's rough being insomniac, dude. Ooh. I had a really bout of that for a year. Like I was up for like maybe a couple days at the most, but I no restful sleep for like months, months and months. And yeah, that was rough, man. And I was by myself. I was a single dad at the time, and I was taking care of my kids. My son just got diagnosed with Friedreich's ataxia, and I was, trying to get everything established. I just got a divorce. It was a rough time, and it was just like, I had to homeschool. I was homeschooling my kids, and I still had to do shit. I couldn't just. You just do what you can until you just fucking pass out. Like literally, you just like out of exhaustion or whatever it might be. You just until you just fall. That's what it was like for me. There's times where I got pretty loopy. I had to make sure that nothing was going on with the kids or the situation wasn't like if something were to happen because they were young, man. I couldn't like something happened to me and then them be alone. They had to know what was going down. So my kids grew up pretty quick, but they're still kids, dude. They had a good time. I think we had a good time. But that's good. I'm glad you're getting some sleep. I think you were saying you're an insomniac too, weren't you, nerd? All right, man. We'll catch you later, dude. But yeah, so trying to so what I normally do, guys, is like when I paint, I'll do paint like batches. Like you know me, guys. So I wouldn't suggest you do that. I would maybe paint in blocks of like 5 or 6, at the most a dozen. If they're just depending on your scale. I mean, if you're painting like 10 millimeter, I mean, you can paint 100. You can paint hundreds of fucking minis in the sitting, but I'm talking about 28 millimeter stuff. Give yourself just enough to keep you going and not get overwhelmed, and then like, but enough to see that like, hey man, I just put a dent in that bad boy. Hell's yeah. Because if you don't see any improvement, if you don't see any if anything's getting done, man, you will just get discouraged and you'll just stop. That is the trick. Don't psych yourself out. Because that is easy to do. So I know, time is precious, man. Sometimes you got a lot of it, and sometimes you ain't got nothing. So maybe paint miniatures isn't what you want to do with the time that you do have free. So try to make your painting as productive as possible when you actually do it. I always thought like incentives to paint, like if you're not like a painting nut and just love it and that's all you want to do, which there are people like that out there. Like these painting challenges, give you kind of, you have other people like pushing you to do it and fucking with you if you're not and whatever. And it's kind of fun. It's kind of community and get you, to get you going again and show off your stuff. And I'm not the best painter, guys. So I mean, but I still show my shit. I mean, it's something that gets done. I can. And when you start getting stuff done, it's like you have your army's expanded. You have access to all this new shit that you didn't have beforehand because it's all painted. Now I know some of you guys will play with your stuff unpainted, which is completely fine. But I usually tend not to do that. So I really want to I want to make sure that my stuff is painted before I play with it on the field. So I was looking up like so I'm doing zombies, right? And I want to do varying like times of zombies or grades of zombies. So like I'll have some zombies that are like they've been dead for a while, so they're kind of green, right? And then some zombies that are fresher, they'll have like kind of like they'll have like their normal flesh, but like have you real bloody or whatever. So I looked up on the internet. I looked up blood, like how blood like dries and what it looks like, right? Dude, blood is nasty, man. It's like, and this was like within like within a day, right? Within a day, blood will turn black. I mean, it black. black, like glossy black, nasty. So like if you're doing, I'm like, again, this is like, this is getting crazy, but you don't have to go this, realistic in your painting. But if you ever thought about that, if you have red blood on your figures, that means they just got hit. They just started bleeding, right? So if you want it like a relatively fresh, blood, it'd be kind of like a darker red, right? And then from there, it kind of turns like a reddish brown, and then it just gets black, just nasty black. Now, blood when it hits, when it gets on like cloth or something, right? It like and what I was talking is like a pool of blood, right? But when blood's like on like cloth or something like that, it usually will just dry like as a dark, like kind of like a dark brown, like a brownish red. It still keeps its it kind of keeps its red tone. I guess the pigment of it stays with, I don't know why, but it's pretty interesting. See, it's the stupid shit you do or look into when you're painting, or at least I do. That's one thing I like about Weird World War II, guys, is that I'm a student of history. I got a degree in history, and World War II has always been fascinating for me. I think it's the last war that was like fascism versus freedom. It seemed like the politics behind it were all politics are complicated and whatever, but this combat this war seemed straight, clean cut, why we're doing it, at least on in the American perspective. And but yeah, so but then like I want to do like I want to alter history a little bit, so like I do all this research, and I learn about what was going on at the time, and the alternative plans at the time, because that's what shit everybody and their brother have done, kind of like books about the normal shit, but they haven't really then they start doing, since there's books on the Battle of the Bulge, then everybody starts coming out with books that are like other like weird facts about the Battle of the Bulge, and maybe the what ifs and and you can make up your own what ifs, but you do a lot of research. I think it's really cool. It's a lot of fun to just learn about the history that you might be historically gaming, and learning the vehicles and maybe the prototype weapons that were in the plans to be made during the time but never were. And then you could like you can make those kit bash, or you can like STLs. I'm sure someone's out there has made every paper Panzer that's ever been thought of, and then they start just making up their own shit, which is awesome. There's this one guy, Stahlhelm Models, I think is his name. He does 135 scale, right, guys? But anyway, he does some awesome, like he makes his own kind of like like weird. They're not necessarily weird war, but they're like they're like what ifs kind of vehicles. And he does so the Germans and a lot of the countries were doing like assault guns, right? Basically a tank without a turret. The gun sat in the hole, and it would have to traverse. And it wasn't really meant to be like a tank. It was meant to be a support, a mobile support platform to support the infantry. But a lot of times it turned into the tank because it had to. That's all it had left. But anyway, he did an M4 like assault gun. So it's basically you guys know the M4. It's like or if you're a Commonwealth guy, the Sherman. It's like it's got the Sherman chassis, right? But it has the 75 mil or the 105 or whatever gun you want to put it in the hull. So it's like an assault gun, kind of like the Stugs the Germans had. Dude, it is awesome. I fucking love it. And he's done some like what is it? Anti-tank guided missile like vehicles. Nerd, you said you did the Little Red Riding Hood, right? The X7. So and you were telling me you stuck it on something. What vehicle did you stick it on? Because he does one that's stuck on a I think it's stuck on a Panzer IV. And it's got like it's got the rail on the man. What was it? I think it's on the Panzer IV because the Panzer IV has those side hatches on the hull on the turret for the crew to come out. So it's almost kind of like you would reload it kind of like a tow on a Bradley. Like you'd open the hatch and the crew member would put the missile in it and then close the hatch again or whatever. It was like that, but it's such a kick ass it's a really cool vehicle. Just completely made up. He just made it up himself, but it's awesome. Well, I reached out to the guy, right? And I'm like, man, I love your shit. I'm Brian with Weird World War II. I'm telling you, man. I think these are STLs. They may be resin casting. Like he's selling them in a shop like resin casting or whatever. But I'm like, man, if you were to make these like 148 or 156 or whatever, you could be selling like multiple. Instead of having modelers, buy one and build the model and make it all badass because it's 135. That's a great scale for your tank models, so you can show off the everything in it. But man, just imagine if there was. I hate 156, but a lot of people use it. Or I'm a 148 guy. You got he's selling it at that scale, and guess what? You got people buying several. Like buying a platoon worth, or they're buying at least two, and they can field whatever because they're in their wargaming. And I'm just like, dude, you need to do that. But he's against it. He says, I'll think about it. And that means no. Say, man, I'm just trying to help you out, dude. I think you'd have more sales, but what is the adage? You can't lead a horse to water and make him drink or whatever the fuck. So, hey Mel, did you borrow some paint? I'm trying to find that paint that we use for the zombie skin. Oh, I forgot, I found it. You can stop looking because you're always to blame. Forget, I found it. You're lucky. But I'm thinking about like because these Japanese zombies have got like they got bullet holes in them and there's wounds and stuff like that, right? And I'm like, I want to make them like bloody or like dried blood, not because the whatever blood they had in them is gone a long time ago, right? But what do I do? Like brown? Maybe I'll just. I guess a lot of this is artistic license, just to make it look cool. Because I would think like someone that got shot up and has been decaying for a month, right? It's probably just black. He's just like goo. He's like the tar man from Eternally Living Dead, probably. Because human flesh, just starts to break down. And I mean, I don't know why we use green. Is that even a real thing? Human flesh turning green? I mean, that just seems like. I mean, I could see it turning pale, like kind of like a chalky, like a Caucasian, like turning chalky because of the lack of the red pigment in the skin from the blood. But I mean, like African American and Hispanic, they would probably just turn kind of like a pasty version of that, kind of like grayish because the blood is gone and it's lightened the skin because I don't know. I need to look into that. But I mean, this group, they're going to be the traditional green. Why will we use fucking green for? I'm not sure where that came from. Yeah, if anybody's watching and you guys paint zombies, I mean, how do you paint your zombies? Do you just, put blood on it? Like, you don't give a shit, it looks cool. It's, a lot of that has to do with it, it looks cool. It's striking, it's a striking color against, whatever. This guy's teeth are all like, these are Brother Vinny, man. You guys go check those out. They're fucking awesome. These zombies. And that's another thing. So, like, I write my own rules, guys. So check this out. So if you guys out there are gamers, and you like the game, like to get a lot of gaming in, But you're sick and tired of all the fucking politics and the bullshit that these game companies have with their rule systems and like fairness and points, all that bullshit. Write your own system. Seriously, write your own game system. Get a couple buddies to think the same way, and what you guys can do is you guys just come up with some rules. You can still read other rules and all that shit. And if you like rules from one system, take them, fuck. And if like you guys are playing and you realize that the rules are broken, you just change them. You don't have to wait for some fucking company to like tell you how to game. Fuck that. But make it your own, guys. Make these games your own. Because shit, man, there's one thing I hate is someone telling me what to do. Do not like that much. Do not like that at all, actually. So I think I'm going to use this. I don't really do a lot of GW paint or Citadel paint, but Blood for the Blood God. I think it's like a dark red. I think I'm going to use that, and I usually do a wash on the top, so it'll darken this. So it should be pretty good. It shouldn't be too bright. It shouldn't be too brownish, but it should be kind of like reddish brown. Hopefully in the mix. It's a pretty good color. It's almost like a crimson color, like a dark crimson. I know everybody's been, everybody does the speed paints and the contrast paints and all that stuff. Man, the guys that I talk to all the time, they fucking just can't talk enough about the shit. They just love that stuff. I still have yet to really get into it yet, but I'm gonna watch some. They sent me some videos to watch and just kind of check it out. So I'm gonna definitely like give that stuff a go. I just don't have. I'm just painting with the paints that I fucking have. I mean, that stuff might be the best, but man, I'd have to go buy it. So it's like, I don't know. I am Baruch. Baruch. So has anybody painted anything really cool or seen anything like new that's like can't live without? Playing World War II really allows me to like play with different genre stuff. So like I'm lucky I can like if there's a cool fantasy monster or some shit, it's easy for me to work it into the game that I'm playing, because monsters and all that shit. So that's always we're talking about zombies. So like in my rules, my homebrew, um zombies in like certain environments, either like are destroyed quickly or they kind of last, right? So like let's talk about it. So like in Arctic environments, zombies just freeze. They have no body heat, so they just freeze solid. The water, the moisture that was in them at the time of their their living existence, is either leached out or it just freezes, right? And so you guys are pretty safe, I would think, in a cold environment with zombies around because they're just solid and they just fall over. They probably just fall over and they just freeze solid until they thaw out, right? Freeze solid until they thaw out, right? Now, like humid environments, I would think that like the insects and stuff would just eat the hell out of these things, because these walking corpses are just walking around, right? And you have just all these insects just like, just about, they just consume it. But in my rules, so the zombies are unnatural, right? There's different kinds of zombies. So in my game in Battleground Weird World War II, there's voodoo zombies, which are basically like, they're like the traditional voodoo zombies, which aren't really. They're like slave. They're like enslaved, like automatons, basically, right? So they're a little bit different. And then you've got like mystical zombies that are like necromancy creates them. So they're controlled. So they're undead that are controlled by whoever make them rise. So those are fun because they're the motivation is the motivation of the necromancer. And then you have just like the supernatural zombies, right? That they just are created by whatever supernatural means that you decide. Like, be it like, you know, hell opens its doors, or the biblical kind of bullshit, or the like you could just say like the dead rise because of the horrors of war, and they're almost like revenants, that consume the flesh of the living, because of the fear and terror of their deaths, or whatever story you come up with, right? But those are the ones that move uncontrollably, and their motivation is usually like, if you go with like the movies and stuff, it would be like for food, right? They eat. That's their motivation. And so I made rules to where they roam around, and they consume. So for some reason, and I wanted to I make up my own rules because I thought it was cool. Like the zombies in my world, they only consume mammals. That's it. They don't consume birds. They don't consume fish. They just consume mammals. So they will meander around just aimlessly, right? Until they come across either a fresh mammal that just recently died, or a living mammal, and they'll move to engage in those creatures, and they'll just keep going until they either eat them, or they can't get to them. And so I have two different kinds of zombies. There's the recently deceased and the decaying dead are the two different kind of zombies I have in my game. Okay, so the recently deceased are that they've just been killed, and so their bodies are relatively fresh. Okay, now if the bodies died from like massive trauma, like they got blown up or some shit, they would return as a decaying dead because their bodies are so mangled that they would act as like a zombie that's been like dead for a while because the body's like jacked up. Okay, but otherwise, if they just got shot, in the heart, and they died and they came back, their muscles and stuff would still be functional for the most part. Their bones, just most of the part, be intact or whatever. So they can still like run for the most part. They can still like see, maybe hear, smell. So they still have their senses are somewhat intact. So those are deadly as fuck. They'd be almost like the zombies from like Return of the Living Dead. Maybe not that. Maybe like the zombies from Dawn of the Dead remake, something like that. They can run, and they can run faster than a human. And let me tell you why, guys. Is because as humans, we all vary in our abilities to do, things, and running is one of them. But one thing that we all have in common is that we run a certain speed, a safe speed, right? So when we sprint, we don't like recklessly sprint through the woods, right? Because we're afraid of like hurting ourselves. We're afraid to like falling into a ditch, or running into a tree, or breaking your ankle, or whatever it might be, right? Well, zombies still have that ability. Like if they're fresh, they still have the ability to run that speed without tiring. They don't tire, and they don't give a shit about being hurt, so they run a little bit faster. So they would run through that wood and like run around and like you know poke their eyes out or get stuck in the face with a branch, and they just don't give a shit. It doesn't hurt them, so they're a lot more deadly because they don't fear that injury, and so they book. So you have that danger, right? And then the decaying dead, they'll like it's basically you roll a die, and that's how many inches. It's usually a D6. It's usually a D4 actually. That's how much they can move because they're probably their bodies are decaying or damaged to a degree where they can't move that fast. Now, if you're a decaying dead or any zombie, but you don't have a face, like your head's gone, like you can't kill my zombies. My zombies don't die because they're already dead, right? My voodoo zombies die, but my the other zombies don't because they're already dead. Okay, so what happens is that what you have to do is you have to produce so much damage to the creature, right? That it just its body just can no longer function at all. So like, if you catch a zombie on fire, like his body will slowly just be consumed by the fire. All his muscles, his bones, it would all burn away and he'd just fall apart, right? Well, it'd be like that too with like acid. If you threw acid on a zombie, they start to decay and they just couldn't function. Doesn't mean they're dead. They might still be wiggling and like trying to bite you or whatever, but they just cannot move to the target to eat them. So that's what you got to do with my zombies. You got to produce so much damage that they just can no longer get to you, which makes it a lot of fun because there's no more of this headshot bullshit. No, you got to like come up with some ingenious ways to outdo the undead in my game. But so because some zombies may not have a head, right? They don't have a head. They'll still try to eat you. They'll be like shoveling your innards into their neck hole because it's just for whatever reason the zombies are motivated to just consume. But and there might be other zombies. Like think about it, guys. Like, what's the motivation for your undead? There's a funny episode of X-Files. It's called Babylon AD, I think is what it's called. So they theorize there's like the zombies, there's stages of the undead, right? So the first stage, when you're dead, you come back, you're hungry, right? You're hungry. So you want to consume, you want to eat a lot of stuff, right? Because you're just starving, because you haven't eaten in however long. Then the next stage is to dance because it's something that it made you happy. Like you enjoyed it. It's enjoyable. Like when you ate, it was enjoyable. When you danced, it was enjoyable, right? And then the next stage, which no zombies ever get to because they either get destroyed before or they never get to the dancing, or the next stage is to fuck. Because for most people having sex is good. It's a good thing, so it feels good and that's what they want to do. So it's like it was pretty funny. So if you ever seen that episode, X-File had the best writing in it, man. They had some fantastic stories, and and it's not always like the monster of the week or the mythos crap that they came up with. They had a lot of really like great writing stories, like really cerebral stuff and silly stuff, and it was a fantastic show. It really was. So give that episode a go. It's pretty funny. But like I was saying, so like not all the zombies will have any kind of sensory organs are left, right? So I made up a rule where they have a supernatural senses. So what they can do is the zombie can sense any living mortal or any living mammal within like a certain range. And what they'll do is they'll just move to that. They don't even have to see it. They could, the people could be like in a tree or they could be in a bunker or however the distance is. They'll just move toward it and just keep going to that spot until they can consume whatever they sense. But what's up, dude? I'm just talking about your challenge, man. But yeah, so they just so that there's a mechanic right there that you know that'll allow for pretty much any kind of zombie that you create or any mini that you might have that because again, some of your undead minis may not have a head. They might not have any eyeballs. They might not have whatever, and but the zombies don't give a shit. They're just for whatever reason they have that supernatural need to consume, and they just and that's how they move. So there you go. So if you guys have been trying to think of a cool way to a story or a mechanic that propels your zombies, there you go. A supernatural sense and a need to just feed. And that's why they break down doors. They don't know how to open doors unless you have smart zombie. I don't have a smart zombie. The necro zombies might have some sort of smarts because again they're being controlled by some kind of entity. You can have like Cthulhu zombies and shit like that too. Like there's some force controlling them, so that's different. But like just your generic supernatural one that just arise from the dead to feast. I think those are pretty fair game to like say that they they're not bound by any kind of like so that they'll just do shit that doesn't make sense because that's how they have to do to get to what they need to do. So they'll just be pounding down, trying to pound down like a metal door and never get in it. But they don't think that way. They just know that there's something on the other side they have to get. There's a guy, I cannot remember his name. It's if you guys go to the Bolt Action or maybe K47, either the Bolt Action or K47 group on Facebook, he did like a German zombie, or he did a German skeleton army. Dude, it is fantastic. It's just like he's got like a platoon of infantry, and they all have like they're all wearing like their uniforms, and they all have skulls, like this white contrasting color to their uniform skulls. And they have like their helmets on and shit. And he has like the tanks that he had. He made them all like undeadish and stuff. It's fantastic. The guy did a fantastic job. I'm gonna mimic that. I'm gonna make a small like skeleton, kind of like necromancer, like strike force, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get some Germans, maybe some Soviets, probably on the Western Front. So I'll do Germans and Soviets, and I'll give them skeleton heads because the necromancer doesn't give a shit what body or what uniform its skeleton warriors are wearing. It'll just pick up whoever. Maybe throw a couple civilians in that unit too. Give them weapons. He just picked up whoever. They have like skeletal hands and shit. It's really fucking cool. If you guys get a chance, just look that up. Look like Skeleton Army or something like that on those groups. They're whoever did it. I think he's a British guy. Fantastic work, dude. Fantastic. And then all he did was stick fucking skeleton stuff on. See, that's what I'm talking about, man. It's just like, get outside of your comfort zone, man. You'd be surprised what cool shit you could come up with. Yeah, that's just fucking cool. Is that the right color? Shit. So you painting, Mutt? I saw that you were starting to do some stuff. You got some stuff primered or something? You get a lot of free shit from the fellas though. They're like dumping all their old shit on you. Like, take this shit, Mutt. We don't want it. You're like, more shit to paint. No, but that's cool. Yeah, that's another thing, guys. So like, if you have a group of friends, you have a cool community of gamers that you're with, you know, when you trust them, they're your friends because they're your friend. Shit, man, give them stuff that you don't want. Instead of selling, I mean, if you can, I mean, some people you need to sell your shit, because you need the money. But if you don't need the money, and somebody would use that army that you had that you don't want, you don't need, and you don't want to fuck with, right? Give it to somebody, man. Just give it to them. Pay it forward. If you want to get out of the hobby and you don't care about making any money from it, donate it. Give it to somebody. Say, hey, pay the shipping and I'll let you have it, or whatever you want to do. There's a lot of product out there floating around. There's a lot of secondhand stuff, and it fucking pains me to know that there's some really great stuff just sitting on a shelf in someone's house, or sitting in a box in someone's closet or attic or basement or something, right? And it's stuff that people would just like covet and just game with. Send it forward, man. Pay it forward. Give it to folks that you think would dig it. Are they really? No, the really? You're the crew over at like Not Jay and all those guys. Those guys are mini guys. Oh, okay. Oh, I thought they were all like diehard. I thought they were all like really diehard mini guys. I mean, there's, and again, guys, there's room for most. I mean, I played a lot of hex and counter gaming when I was younger. It's pretty sweet. It's pretty good. It's a lot of fun. But I'm a toy guy. I love my toys. I love my toys. There's nothing like just like pushing around a little army man. It's good stuff. Like when I was a kid, I was a big action figure guy. Love me action figures. And what else? Yeah, I was always a modeler, like always. So I was always doing models, man. I loved it. Mostly armor stuff, armor and like figure models. But yeah, that was some good stuff. Yeah, that sucks, man. You should. I mean, you should just plug in like there's got to be local fucking gamers out there, man. There's got to be. It's a big place. I mean, you got nothing else to do. The fucking you guys are surrounded by like inhospitable desert. You're like, yeah, let's just stay home, dude. Let's go stay. Let's just stay home in the nice air conditioning and like and just game instead of like you know dying of exposure and whatever. Yeah, so this is what I usually do, guys. I've traveled around and stuff, so I've always like looked for gamers in the area and whatnot. I usually would get on YouTube, or not YouTube, but Facebook, and I'd plug in whatever town you're at. So like if you're up in Dallas or whatever, put Dallas miniature wargaming, or Dallas 40K, or whatever you play. And there you go. That'd be a good starting point. You might find some folks that, now finding people that you resonate with, that can be a challenge. Sometimes it's just not enough to be a gamer. You got different lifestyles, you got different, genres and whatever. So sometimes it's a challenge to find people that want to play the games that you want to play. That can be a challenge, but for the most part, I think think most gamers are pretty in tune to like trying new shit. Maybe not buying new shit, but trying stuff for sure. And convention guys, go to your conventions. If you can go to a convention and they don't charge you a bazillion fucking dollars, go to it. Now, if you go to a con, guys, and you host a game, don't pay a ticket for a ticket, man, unless you want to. I think people who host games should get in for free because I mean they're bringing all that shit up. Because without you guys, they don't have a fucking gaming con because no one's fucking gonna be hosting except for the people selling their shit. When you offer free tickets to those who host games, it fosters people to bring games that they like to play, not necessarily games that they're trying to sell or something. So dude, you have conventions that have everything, like you have rule sets from the 60s and the 50s and all sorts of shit. That's great. So if you guys are if you guys know anybody who's doing conventions, or you're thinking about doing your own convention, think about that. I know there's always going to be a price thing, but you can always charge tickets to those who just are coming to play. Hell, give free ticket. Let people in free if they're just going to go to the if they're not going to play and they're only going to go to the dealer room or whatever. Let them in for free, man. That'll be another route where dealers are like, oh, that's cool, man. They if we're definitely gonna come to this because even if they don't play, they can get in for free and just shop with us. They can talk to people like that, like, hey, we're coming here. If if you just want to pick up your stuff, it's free. Just come on in. But if not, throw down some money and play too. I don't know. Yeah. I've known a couple late life gamers like you, Brian. You guys were making all of us old school gamers hell, putting us through hell. Fucking D&D losers, weirdo. Now you've become you've folded into you've come into the fold. You like join the club, man. See how badass it is. Hell, I don't think any of us are the same people we were when we were like 15. I'm not. That's for damn sure. And it's just like, so if you tormented somebody in your life and you run across them again, be the better man and tell them you're sorry for being a dick. Like, look, dude, I am sorry. I was such a prick. I apologize. I just so take me off of your list. Your list of like taken out before they go out. There's some sort of I think there's a oh god, who is that guy? Adam Sandler movie, right? Where he like I think he kind of has that kind of epiphany where he was a douche, right? So he started calling people that he was an asshole to. And he's like basically saying, look, man, I'm sorry I tormented you in high school and it wasn't cool. I apologize. I think the person he called was like Steve Buscemi. He's like, oh, I appreciate that. Thanks. And he hangs up. And then he like scratches Sandler's or Adam Sandler's character's name off a list, like to like murder before he, or some shit. It was pretty funny. I'm not a huge Adam Sandler fan, but he has a couple nuggets of funniness in his couple of his movies are pretty good. Oh, you did play some D&D. Uh-oh. You're a closet gamer, dude. Well, dude, you're safe now, man, because geek is chic. Everybody love, geek, being a geek is acceptable in most places now. I just never understood. It was just like all that angst and bullshit that A lot of people like I went. Well, okay, to be honest, guys, no one ever fucked with me. I was a bigger guy. I didn't take anybody's shit, and I could fight and all that shit. And I wasn't a fighter. I wasn't an asshole. I just wanted to do my own thing. I was mellow. And but when someone pushed, I pushed back, and I pushed back hard. And so I never really was bullied. I mean, people made fun of us because we were playing like Twilight 2000 in the fucking in the break or in the lunchroom during lunch, or we were wearing like punk rock shirts and D&D shirts and shit like that. So we got that kind of bullshit, but no one ever fucked with me. Now I had some buddies I had a couple buddies. I was a comic book guy too, right? So I had a couple buddies who were really geeky. I mean, really fucking like nerdy looking, like really awkward looking guys. And sometimes they would get, kind of like ridiculed, but I always stand up for them. Like, dude, I collect comics, motherfucker. You got something about it? But don't be a dick. It's easy. It doesn't take much not to be an asshole. So just don't be an asshole. But you're always gonna have that guy or that girl that's like has to be a cunt or a prick because that's just they think it's cool or they're whatever the fuck, whatever. Dumb. Well, so Brian, your D&D games up in high school, what did you play? Like what kind of character? Like a fighter or paladin or something, or so if anybody else is watching, if you guys gamed, what did you guys game when you guys were kids or younger? I was, well, let's see what we wrote here. Cleric, huh? Oh, hell yeah, Cleric. The Hellhound Viet Cong type. Oh, that's cool, dude. You died. Hellhounds are rough, dude. They're rough. Aren't hellhounds devils? I think they're not demons. They're like devils. So they're a little bit. They got those like, yeah. I remember. Good times, man. Your deity left you in your time of need. Yeah, there was always in the group that I played. So we played what we wanted to play. Like you have some of these groups that like they have to fit that formula to like maximize the party, right? So you have a healer, and then you've got like a buffer, and then you got a tank, and then you got a spellcaster, and then you got like a thief, right? And that's like the generic, squad layout or whatever. But we didn't play like that, man. We just played what we wanted to play. So a lot of times, because how D&D was kind of set up, was that yeah, that was a disadvantage at times, but it was fun, man. Because like I was always kind of into being a spellcaster. Actually, I was like playing hot chicks. I always wanted to like seduce, be a seductress or like a seducer or some shit, and do that kind of shit. Because it made everybody awkward. I was trying to like seduce a dragon or something. It's like, hey, big boy, put your fire away. Let's talk about something fun. Good times. But sometimes like you have a party of nothing but spellcasters, and you're fighting up against like a golem or something, or some sort of. I think golems are immune to magic. You're fucked, because what we had, we're relatively low levels, so your go-to spell is magic missile, right? Because that kicks some shit. I mean, it's not powerful, but it always hits. But all of a sudden, your bag of tricks don't fucking work because the thing you're attacking is immune to it, and you're like, oh shit. And when you have daggers, and we're all like we're all like weak ass characters because we're spellcasters. So we put all our stats in wisdom and charisma and intelligence. We didn't put anything in dex or pretty much strength. I always did charisma and intelligence. Oh, that's pretty cool. That that's what I did. So like if I would like if someone that that's what I did. So like if I would like if someone comes into the onto the table like late, like the party is a certain level. I usually didn't if they didn't have extra time, I would just kind of bump them up a couple levels below the current party, so they don't just become what the party's at. Because I don't think that's very fair. Because the party like worked hard to get to that level, and then all of a sudden a new guy is just automatically. I always kind of kept them a few levels low. But anyway, if they had the time, I would like we'd play like solo like games away from the normal session and build up their story and build up their character stats. That was always fun. I'm a big story DM kind of guy, so like I was really big into like having a cool story and allowing people to create their stories. Like by actual playing, not just like you know coming thinking it. They had to like actually play it out. I thought that was always fun. Those are pretty cool. Those are the zomboids. Oh, Brian. So I meant to ask you: did they have the Aces High Eddie in that set of Iron Maiden minis that you got? Because I saw like the Trooper, and I saw like the Space one, Space Eddie, and I think they had the Pharaoh one. Um, but I didn't see the like when he's the pilot, like he's the Spitfire pilot. I didn't see that in the set, but I don't know if yeah. I'd like to get that if they had like the pilot Eddie. That'd be cool. Make him some undead like revenant returning to kill those who killed him, shot him down. He's like, I've come from the grave, Fritz, to take you down. I think tomorrow I'm gonna play a solo game. Buddy of mine, Dave, he wrote a solo system called uh, uh, Fear of Fear of the Dark. Fear of the Dark, Fear of the Dark, Fear of the Dark. And I'm gonna try to do a solo game of that tomorrow. Like when Mel's at work, I think I'm gonna play a game of that. I need to read those rules again tonight and play that out. I think it looks fun. It's like it's got like this really. It's almost like a choose your own adventure at times, where like the motivation of like it's got an AI in it. It's like it's almost kind of like choose your own. Like you roll to see what the motivations of the bad guys or whatever, and I like shit like that. I think that's pretty. It looks really interesting. I'm jonesing to give it a try. I've had it for a while, man. I just like it is so hard to like get shit going, man. Sometimes, especially new stuff. Like I still like my. Oh, so if you're watching JC, I got plans. Me and Ron are gonna probably next couple weeks from now. We're gonna play a game of a nuts. So I know I keep it saying that, but man, it's been hard for me to try to get together some people to play a brand new system. It's been harder than I expected, but I'll get to it. I promise. Nope. That sucks. You would think. I mean, that's like he's a soldier in that one. Um, how many sets of it was there? Is it just one set with like several figures in it, or is it just like is it several sets? I thought it was several sets. The Mighty Python one. It's fucking crazy. They're just coming out with like crazy shit. And what is there a reason why they did that set? Is there like maybe a Mighty Python game coming out, or they just decided to kind of like do a mashup with games that they already got going or something, or is it just they somehow got the IP or something? I don't know. It's weird. It was just seems like a strange. It was just like a strange. It's a 3-pack set and available to purchase. Okay, so there's 3 different packs, like with 3 different things in it, or is it just like one pack with 3 in it? Just an expansion. Okay. Is the third edition changing stuff up, or is it just like just more stuff? It's not like a 40K ploy. They're like changing all the rules and making everything obsolete or anything, are they? Or second edition, different poses. So nerd, if you're still around, did you? I remember back in the late '90s, I want to say, when you remember Armorcast and Epicast and Forge World, and they were all like third party companies that were making like resin kits for 40K and all that shit. Um, one of those guys, I can't remember which one. One of those guys did a Mad Cat, like a BattleTech Mad Cat in 28 mil. I remember seeing that. Did you ever get a chance to see that? That was fucking awesome. I think it's the Mad Cat, the like the iconic BattleTech that everybody seems to remember. Zombie. So what expansion are you on, Mutt, on your Zombicide? Have you played through like I know you played through the original game. Did you get through was it the like jail? Like it's a prison or something? I know because you were planning on playing out like the entire like series, the whole like series of games. All right, guys. So I got one more. Oh shit! Is that all the zombies? Oh shit! I think I'm gonna paint up. I'm at a stopping point here, so I might. So I just finished up 4 Japanese undead. Well, not quite. I gotta put their rank badges on, but after that, I'll probably cut it off. Let you guys do your own thing. I know that. I know Mutt. You probably got something going down. I know Greg and Ashley got their show coming up here in about an hour or so. Let them. Don't want to infringe on that one. So, are you getting Jones to play some bolt action? I know that you kind of jumped into. So, mission 8 of Prison Outbreak. 2 more missions, then off to the expansion Toxic City Mall. Oh, that's cool. And Angry Neighbors, then Rue Morgue. That's cool. Yeah. So I'm kind of doing the same thing with the Dust, like the Dust Tactics game. I got all the expansions and stuff, and I'm just slowly like playing it all out. It's pretty fun in the Chronicle order, and then like slowly introducing new, new units and stuff as they become available in the the line. It's kind of neat. Gives you a chance to find that stuff and try to find it and get it painted up and. So you're gonna? Oh, really? You're gonna like stop to get the newer stuff? Man, we can do all the old stuff. You gonna just keep it, or you gonna stop playing it? Right. You said that they were making it like kind of more streamlined. I don't know how much streamline you can get. The game's pretty streamlined already. Oh yeah, I dig your halfling games. So my pal White Knight, he started a minis company, and he did a bunch of dwarfs and halflings, and he was big into that stuff, like that kind of creature or whatever. And he made a bunch of shit that he wanted, like the stuff that no one else was making. He just started a company, made his own shit. He ended up selling all that stuff to God. Who did he tell me he sold? He sold his catalog to somebody. But yeah, so shit. Instead of buying, if you get into it, and you want something that no one's making, hire somebody to do an STL and print it up for you, or buy, create some unique creatures or enemies or heroes that you have that you might want for your adventure. Oh, look, that's a good reason to play it, man. If that's the only thing that the family wants to play, then dude, that's totally worth investing in, or just playing, because shit. Yeah, Mel's pretty much got burnout. The only thing she wants to play is if she does play is a hero quest. She just got burned out. And that happens, man. It happens to all of us. It's sometimes you just you know get burned out. you know and I tell people, if you're really into the hobby but you're just having a slump, don't get rid of it. Just get out of your sight for a few months or a year or whatever, and then come back to it, because that initial love that got you into it hopefully will come back, and like you can revisit it and like have a good time with it. Oh, dude, that man. There's no way I could have done what you guys did, man. We used to have gaming. We used to have painting nights. Like when I was a kid, we were like, "Hey man, we're going over to Brian's for the weekend, dude. We're just gonna paint. We're gonna paint all our shit." You know, and the parents, let them. We'd all just spend the night at whoever's house for the weekend, right? And we would just paint. Well, we would do that for maybe 12 hours or whatever, or half a day, in the weekend. And then we were just like, let's go play. Let's go play the game, or let's go outside, or let's play video games or some shit. Man, that was rough, man. You're looking pretty rough, dude. I remember seeing you. Whew, I couldn't have done it. Some of those guys, man, like not Jay and what McMurray and all them, man, they're fucking just trudging away, painting, painting, painting. That is something I could not do. Yeah, I mean, it's in my experience. I think a month, just a month to do whatever you plan on doing is plenty. And because anything longer, it's just like it's impeding on other shit. You get shit, you might not even fuck with it after a month. Yeah, I think you should just do shit like this, Brian. I don't think you should do like what Jay did, like points and like a prize. Oh man, I don't think people do these challenges for that. They do it because of the community, showing off their stuff, being kind of pushed, by fellow people that are in it. I wouldn't, because no one's gonna just like. I mean, it's rare. I'm not saying nobody. There's always somebody. Um, yeah, them like, yeah, whoever gets the most wins. It's just like I wouldn't do that anyway. I mean, I do it just because I think it's fun or whatever. But I don't care if you win or lose. And it's better just kind of just do it at your own leisure and do what you want and not be pressured or whatever. Because by the end of the month, you painted a bunch of shit that you wouldn't have anyway. So it's like bonus. Yeah, season stuff. I'm doing mine next month, but that's just like you guys paint like a single thing kind of thing. Where's my brass? Oh, there. And just showcase it. So leave a cool like monster or some shit out to do for my Halloween event. Like some cool like super zombie or some weird creepy monster. All right, so that guy's done. That guy's done. This guy's done. This guy. Ooh, I did 4 figures. Thank you guys for hanging with me. I'm telling you, it's a lot easier to do this stuff when you're just conversating with a buddy. And for all the people that might just be watching and not saying, or thanks for swinging by too. I mean, it's fun to talk and chat and just make community, and we're some cool motherfuckers, all of us. Rocking. You had zombie stuff all over. Right on. All right, man. Well, it's almost 2 hours in, and I finished the 4 guys. I planned on it in this one sitting, but I'm gonna try to do this as long as like if I'm not working or something. I'll probably do this like once a day. Do like an hour or so just live. I mean, it's not gonna be any one given day, so just if you're online, see if I'm online, swing by and say hi, and hang out with me if you want. But otherwise, if you guys are interested, later on tonight at 4 Central Standard Time, Greg and Ashley of Gamers with Coffee will have their live chat. So swing over to Gamers with Coffee, see what they got going on, and be a part of that. All right. Again, Brian, Nerd, and Justin, thanks for swinging by, and all those that were just watching. I appreciate it. Whatever you do, keep painting and keep it weird. See you later.